Are we back? Is Marvel maybe, I don't know, maybe Marvel's back? And listen, it's very early to say this because these three things that I'm going to be talking about could all be huge flops, whatever. And we are still coming off of X-Men 97, a thing everybody liked and we all thought was great. But there are a lot of things this week, specifically about Marvel, that showed up that I think are promising. First thing, Deadpool and Wolverine, they're doing like first 30-minute screenings, which is something that's interesting. I've never seen a movie do that specifically. I imagine it's because of spoilers and stuff. Everything coming out of them is very positive. And also, apparently, they've shown like most of what you've seen in the trailer is just like a taste of what's in this actual movie. So I'm really excited for that. Like the people that have seen it have said it's really good. It just looks like a lot of fun, crowd-pleasing movie. I think people are going to enjoy. A lot of people I know are getting pretty excited about it, which is good. Probably make some money, which is nice. I'm sure Disney, after Inside Out and this, like that'll be a good thing for them. But just overall, it's nice that Deadpool and Wolverine sold itself as kind of an endgame level event movie, and it does kind of feel like that. It doesn't feel quite as like important as Endgame, but that does feel like a movie that's going to be a big, exciting event, and I think those are great. I like these event movies. I wish, all movies could be event movies in their own way, but at least with Marvel, like the formula does rely on some of these movies feeling big, and this movie, I'd say, does feel that way. This week, we also got the first trailer for Agatha All Along, the show that is coming out in September, starring Kathryn Hahn and Heartstopper's Joe Locke, and plenty of other actors, people like Aubrey Plaza, I would say is a big one. I think this looks promising. I don't have too much to say about this one, only because I don't think we get a lot from the trailer besides just that it has the same kind of sense of humor as WandaVision, which I think is good. I will go down saying WandaVision is like the best show Marvel has made. I don't know if it's my favorite. I really did like She-Hulk, but I think that WandaVision season 1 was so good, and the production value, everything about that was so well done that I'm just fine with more of that. It does kind of seem like they're doing something similar here to what they did with WandaVision, where you see in the beginning of this trailer, Kathryn Hahn shows up as a cop investigating a murder in Westview, and that is all a ruse or something like that. You get a little bit of that from Aubrey Plaza's character, but you do also get a sense that like Kathryn Hahn's character is living in a fake reality created by Wanda, and oh look, it's a television show, it's Mayor of Easttown, and that one cop says Wooder, like people from Philadelphia, people with the Delco accent, like very similar to Mayor of Easttown. And I am hoping that that's something we're able to carry over from WandaVision, this idea of taking individual episodes, or maybe just, vignettes in episodes, but really stylizing them to seem like something else. Like, it seems like she's going through the Witch's Road, and maybe, one bit of the Witch's Road is Wizard of Oz, and one bit feels like Hocus Pocus, and one bit feels like Charmed or something. I don't know, but I think that Mayor of Easttown bit, I'd say, is fun. I like that. Joe Locke, don't have a huge opinion on for Billy. I know some people on the internet are a little upset. I think he's great casting. We'll see what the performance of Billy, like how that relates to comic Billy, but I don't know. I think over the course of the last couple of years, I think I've been more okay with doing things very differently from the comics, just as long as they're good and fun. Like, obviously this is a huge departure for Agatha Harkness, and I think this is like an Agatha Harkness that we all really like. I think, God, Kathryn Hahn is just so good. We don't have too much information about who all the other characters are. I think I'm fine with that. Honestly, I don't even know if Joe Locke has been confirmed as Billy, but that's definitely who that is. And one of the things I'm really excited for is it seems like Agatha All Along, because of its release schedule, is going to drop at least an episode or something around Halloween. And I think one of the things we lost when episodic television turned into, streaming shows that all get released at once is the everybody watching the same thing at the same time holiday themed episode. So I think this almost seems like a spooky holiday themed show, and I think that's great. I loved Werewolf by Night, and I'm happy that Marvel is doing more with that. And now I'm thinking they probably would have put this out earlier if it wasn't a Halloween thing. Like, if this was just more generic, I bet it would have been in February, because it seems like it's been done for a while and they shot it a while ago, and it doesn't seem like they're holding it back for reshoots. It just does feel like a timing thing. But overall, I'm happy with it. I think it looks cool. And then we got Captain America Brave New World trailer. So this was supposed to drop on Thursday, and it didn't. And by supposed to, people said it was going to, and then it didn't. And then it dropped on Friday. So this is the first day of it existing, and I think it looks pretty fun. I'm surprised by how into it I was, considering how low my expectations were because of all the news that this movie had to be reshot a bunch and certain characters weren't quite working. Certain characters may be completely written out of the movie. So like, I think I expected it to be, I don't know, a little messier. And listen, you could take a bad movie and turn it into a good trailer. This has happened many times before. We have all been fooled. But I do think that you can also take a good movie. It's hard to take a good movie and turn it into a bad trailer, right? Like, getting a good trailer is at least kind of a good sign. If for nothing else, it does feel like this movie has a little bit of style, which is something that people frequently complain about with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, I think that it does seem to be going for the very serious, like, Manchurian Candidate espionage thriller, what everyone liked so much about Winter Soldier. I hope that that is something that they're able to maintain, because I think if you look at Captain America and the Winter Soldier, the series, it is pretty serious. Like, there's a little bit of like, you know, Bucky would do a dumb thing and Cap would be like, "You're an idiot, Bucky, haha," and then laugh at him. But like, for the most part, I think that show took itself very seriously, the way that people wanted a show in the MCU to take itself seriously. And I think at that point, people were tired of all the quips and stuff. Like, that same year, the plan was to have Black Widow come out, which did have plenty of silliness and quips. So I think Captain America and the Winter Soldier had the right balance. And I think if they're able to bring that into this movie, play this movie pretty straight, this will be a lot of fun. I think the Captain America costume looks good. I'm happy to see Julio Torres. Happy to see, finally, from the Happy Meal toys, it's Ruth, everyone's favorite character. I think it's so stupid. And the whole thing's dumb. It's dumb that this character was like a member of like the Israeli special forces and then was like a Hulk character. It's not even, you know, a good friend of Captain America or specifically of the Falcon. So bringing her in here is like, why this character specifically, and especially now because of how people feel about Israel and Palestine. They seem to have wiped as much of the Israel stuff from this character as possible, which is just leaving us with like, I don't know, a Black Widow named Ruth, who's kind of mysterious. And I guess if you really know what you're looking for, you could tell this is supposed to be the Sabra character, but I don't know. If you want to boycott this movie, that's fine. I'm not super interested in boycotting it because Marvel doesn't seem to be like defiantly standing by Sabra. It does feel like they're like, shoot, she's already in here. All right, we have to change her name in this scene, change her name in this scene. But like, after all the things they're already reshooting, I understand why they don't want to, you know, go use CGI to cut this character out of every scene. Speaking of Happy Meal toys, no Diamondback in this trailer, which I think is fine. I like Rose Salazar though. I'm hoping she plays a good, you know, role. It seems like the Serpent Society's role has been minimized generally. I think General Ross looks great. President Ross, whatever we're doing with him. The Red Hulk, that tiny shot of the Red Hulk looked cool. I like the political aspect. We didn't see much of the leader. There were maybe 2 shots of the leader. Apparently, he is maybe the guy with that hat on in one scene from behind, and then maybe the guy taking the picture. If you really, like, you know, if you're zeroing in, you're like, we're gonna find the leader in this, you can maybe find him. And then you've got a character played by Giancarlo Esposito that is apparently going to be G.W. Bridge, according to rumors, who is another like Nick Fury type character. I think that's fun. I like that he seems to be playing it as kind of an agent of chaos. He's got a bunch of guns and weapons, and he just shows up and makes life difficult for everybody. I'm happy that Giancarlo Esposito just seems to be having fun. I'm glad he gets to do this. You know, like, did the effects look perfect? Not really. I think there's definitely some stuff they gotta iron out. Do I think that the story is that clear? As clear as you need. This movie comes out in February, and it is July. So we got plenty of time. I don't think they need to have a trailer where every character sits down and goes, hey, this is the thing we all want. You want it for this. You want it for this reason. I'm going to go. Like, we don't need to spell the whole movie out here. But I do think that we got a sense for what the story was. There were rumors that Tiamat, the dreaming celestial that's sitting in the ocean, is going to be part of it. It seems like he will. There's a couple of shots that have Tiamat in the background. I love the look of Captain America flying around. I think that's fun. One thing that I think some people were saying got a little bit of traction on Twitter was that it's like, oh man, the Red Hulk is a Hulk and he's smart. Usually, like, he's got the intelligence of Thunderbolt Ross at the time that he is hulked up. How is Anthony Mackie, who doesn't even have the super soldier formula, gonna fight this guy? Can't even take a hit from him. And it's like, well, first of all, he's got the wings. The fancy vibranium wings give him a lot of, like, you know, protection. Also, he can fly. That's really handy for fighting a Hulk because Hulk can't fly. And you can zip around and in and out of stuff. You know, it's really hard for that Hulk to get you if you are the Falcon. And it also, I guess, feels like a thing where people just say stuff on the internet, like say it this quick, like, why, how is he even going to beat him? How are you going to beat the Red Hulk? And it's like, listen, I understand having this impulse, but if you read the comics, Red Hulk has a very specific weakness that normal Hulk does not. And if Captain America can figure that out, he can exploit that to beat the Red Hulk. I'll tell you what it is, and I don't know if this is going to come up in the movie, if it's going to be specifically, how this character works, but traditionally, the Red Hulk has a kind of like is a nuclear reactor of energy. As he gets angrier, he gets stronger, but he also gets hotter. And as he gets hotter and hotter and hotter, he can overheat and cause like a meltdown where he would, lose all his Hulk power and revert back to normal General Ross state. Like the way that you, as a non-Hulk who can't just punch him, beat the Red Hulk is by not powering him up with radiation, which is something Sam's not going to do. Like, that's the problem. Red Hulk is strong against like a Green Hulk because he can suck the gamma radiation out of you, but you can't really do that with a character who is just flying around in a bird suit. So you don't power him up, but just get him really angry, fly around, make him exert himself a lot, like jumping, trying to follow you, and eventually he'll burn himself out and be beatable. Like, that is in a comic how you would beat the Red Hulk. And also just like, I don't know, I think it's kind of cool because Captain America in these movies, like first movie Captain America, Steve Rogers, like fights Red Skull, just beats him. There's very little like, oh, is he gonna beat the Red Skull? It's very simple. Winter Soldier, I would say, fighting against Bucky, those are good fights. Like those fights are really great. But it doesn't seem like an insurmountable challenge for Captain America. As characters on his level. And I would say Civil War is similar. Like the stakes in Civil War are not, is Captain America, going to be able to beat Iron Man? It's like, what's going to happen when one beats the other? It's like, how is this relationship going to be destroyed forever? So with this, it's like, no, a lot of it's just, can he beat him? Like, is this character able to beat a Hulk? And I think that's kind of compelling. I think that makes it fun. And also, like Stan Lee said this, he gets these questions all the time, like who win in or got them, because he is R.I.P. Stan Lee, he is dead. But back when he was alive, he said this, like people ask him, who's going to win in this fight between, Spider-Man and the Human Torch? And Stan Lee basically like, I don't know, whoever I want to win, because I'm writing the comic book, so I'll figure out something. Hopefully it's a good answer, like it's fun and you guys enjoy reading it or watching it or whatever, but like it's not, these people aren't real. You do whatever you want. And I think that they're going to come up with I'm sure this came up in the writer's room when they were working on this. Someone's like, wait a second, this is a Hulk though, right? Like they usually fight like Thanos and stuff. So and then the person who was working on it was like, well, no, you see, I have a very clever idea. And what we're going to do is, and then they kind of planned it out. I don't know. I don't think they just like kind of, drew these names out of a hat and were like, all right, well, Red Hulk needs to fight Captain America. Ooh, sorry, Cap. Listen, this movie could be bad, and there could be a bad answer to that question, but as far as like saying like, oh, he's cooked, he's definitely gonna lose, it's like, I don't know, man, it's a movie. I'm sure they'll figure out something for them to do. What else in here was good? Carl Lumbly's back. It seems to be some sort of Manchurian Candidate character. That's cool. I do think Harrison Ford is good in this. Like, I think Harrison Ford, for all of his, we love to make jokes about Harrison Ford sleepwalking through performances, mostly because like a lot of the time it's not because he's bad in the movies he's in, at least not that I can remember. It's that he hates doing press. And a lot of this seems not fun for him, especially like when you're, doing a cameo in Star Wars Episode 9 that like nobody's excited for, but like he shows up and just shows up for a day and then has to go on a press circuit and answer questions about Indiana Jones fighting Han Solo and his head explodes. Like, I think it's very funny that you have this humongous megastar who just does not want to talk about any of his movies. But realistically, like, I think this performance is probably going to be pretty good. He's great at being a curmudgeon. And I think, seeing him jump around in the big red Hulk body with this Harrison Ford face is going to be pretty funny. I am slightly bummed that he doesn't have the mustache, but nobody's perfect. Yeah, overall, I think this was good. I think this was a good week for Marvel, even though none of the things actually came out. And I'm not talking about comics at all. We're waiting for Dazzler soon. Strong Guy is going to be in the Dazzler comic. We're very excited about that. But in terms of Deadpool, early reviews saying that it is a lot of fun. Agatha and the House of Harkness or whatever, having a fun trailer that I enjoyed, getting me excited about that show, which is coming out in a couple of months. And then Captain America Brave New World having a trailer that honestly looked a lot better than I expected for a movie that had to be reshot a bazillion times. So like maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be a lot of fun. And then after that, it's like Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts. We've got a lot of really interesting Marvel projects, Daredevil, Born Again. Like it's going to be a big year. Next year's going to be a big year for Marvel. I think Deadpool, Agatha, obviously those are important, but like Fantastic Four is huge. And Captain America movie is huge. Like, yes, they should just start calling it Avengers, but whatever. It does seem like it really is a Captain America movie, which is nice, I guess. Listen, I've been rambling. You guys, thank you for watching. It's a lot of stuff happened this week, so I got to talk about all of it. Also, I don't know, they made a Twisters movie. I haven't seen it yet. So thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, sharing, following, all that stuff. I will see you next time. Stay safe.